Hi, in this video I will make an interactive windmill. Let's start by building the windmill structure. So first we will add the third parameter of WebGL to our create canvas so that our canvas becomes a 3D canvas. And then in the function draw, we are going to make our push and pop functions. And inside these push and pop functions, we will make our first 3D shape. Let's say we want to make a cylinder for our windmill blades, so that we need the values of, for the radius we have 20, for the height we have 300, for the detail X we have 24, and detail Y is 1, and we want the base and the top of it, so we say give the boolean values of true and true there. Now after doing that, let's see how it's appearing. So this is how it's appearing. Now as you can see that if I see this structure is actually in the radians is present in the at 180 degrees, and if I have to make it appear in the y-axis like this, so I have to make it come down from 180 degrees, which is this vertical position, to horizontal 90 degrees. So you can see here, if I make it, so say this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. This axis has 90 degrees and the above axis is 180 degrees, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to make it come down in this way, so it's from vertical to horizontal position it comes down. We want to rotate this z-axis but at 90 degrees, so we will say that we want it to rotate it half pi. Half pi is 90 degrees, this is pi 180 degrees. So when we do that, now you can see the cylinder is appearing in the at 90 degrees position in the rotate z or the z-axis. So this is one of the blades we have made. Now let's make another one. So for that we need the same code, and what we need to do, we don't need to rotate it in any direction, so we will keep it at 180 degrees. So I will do that, and now you can see there are two blades present and they are at different axes and they are in the z-axis, and one is at 180 degrees, the other is at 90 degrees. Now I will put both the push and pops, which contains these two cylinders in it, inside another push and pop which will contain all of these, so that I can apply the rotation and translation or anything which I want to apply on them at the same time. So right now I want it to rotate in the z-axis, so I will say rotate z and I will leave it like this. Now I have to make an angle variable, so I'm going to make that and initiate it with 0, and then I will have that angle variable have some rotation, say 0.03, and give this angle inside the rotate z, which is applied on both the cylinders. So now when I do that, you can see both the cylinders are moving in the same way. On both of them the same rotation is applied, and it didn't affect the rotate set, which is a static rotation we did on one of the cylinders. After doing that, now we can label it as these are the blades of the windmill. Now let's make the tower of the windmill. Same way we will make push and pop. Inside these push and pop we will be putting our tower structure. So let's start by making the first thing. So let's say we want to make another cylinder, and this cylinder should have the radius of 50, a little bit thicker than the previous ones, and height of 200, and detail X of 24, detail Y of 1, and we want it to have the top and the bottom caps on it. So I will write true and true in both of them. And after doing that, I'm also going to first see that how it's appearing. So you can see it's appearing above it, so I need the translate to move it back. So let's do that, and I need it to move down as well. So translate, and so in the x-axis I don't want to change anything, but in the y-axis I want it to be 100. That means in the a little bit down, as in the y-axis we have negative, and then as we move down is positive. So I want it to move down a bit from the 0 origin position, which is here, and then I want it to move back by 50. So when I do that, now as you can see the cylinder is appearing behind the blades, and you can see the blades are appearing as if it's attached to it. Now let's make another shape, which will be the sphere. So I will just copy these, as it will have the same kind of things in it. So now instead of the cylinder we will be making a sphere, and the sphere will be of size 50, and it needs to be translated in the upper direction. So if this is the 0 position, we have to move it a little bit up, so it will be -10. Right, now it's better. Now when we do that, as you can see the sphere is appearing over the cylinder, and we can move it down a bit more, like maybe 5 is something. Yes, it seems to be now attached to the cylinder. Now the cylinder can be a little bit more bigger than this, so let's make it 300 rather than 200 in height. So as we did that, it moves up a bit more, so we need to bring it down a little bit more. So let's say is at 120, so still is high up. 150, yeah, now it's better. So it's longer and is looking much better than before. Okay, so we have the basic structure of the windmill, and we have the windmill which can be now textured. So we will use two textures, one for the blades and the other is for the tower, and we will put the whole tower structure inside a big push and pop, so that it can also have the same texture on, can be applied on both the shapes we have here. So right now, the first thing I have to do before texturing them is to put a no stroke here, so that no stroke appears on that, and the same I'm going to do in the upper blades one also. So where we have written rotate Z with the angle, I'm going to put a no stroke there as well. And then just for filling it, we can use the fill. We can try out the colors. In the colors we can have something in the brown. So let's say it has this rosy brown color, so I'm going to get this number from there, and I'm going to put it in here in the fill. And in the same way, in fact this color should be in the, because it's lighter color, it should be inside the tower structure, and the darker color should be inside the blades. So let's put brown color in the blades. So in the blades one, we have this color, we will replace it by the brown color. And now, in fact, I will keep the stroke of the blades and see how it looks. So you can see that this is how it's looking, and we can make the color of it a little bit more darker and better looking. So our color needs to change a bit more. So let's see, our color is changed now. And now this is how it's looking. I want to introduce the mic into it, so it will be moving with the sound interaction. So let's make the variable of mic, and we will also make the variable of volume. Two variables we are going to make, and after doing that, we are going to first use this mic variable, and we will say that we need new p5 dot audio in function, which will be inside this variable, and then we have this mic dot start, so that mic will start working, and then we will, in the function setup we did this. Now in the function draw, we will use the volume variable, and we will say to the volume variable that the mic dot get level, so it will take the level of the sound from it. And now what I wanted to do is use this volume variable and put it inside the angle. So instead of the number, I'm going to give this variable into it, and as we speak, the blades of the windmill should move. So when I click on this, it gives me error because a basic thing I didn't do. I'm using open processing editor, and in that you have an inbuilt libraries given to you. So if I have to use the sound, I have to open the library of p5. So when I did that, and I saved my project and run this again, I will not have any problems now. And as you can see, when I'm speaking, the volume is making the windmill blades move now, and it's not moving continuously, it's moving as I speak. You can also increase their movement by making it twice the volume, so it moves faster that way. And you can also texture these two blades and the tower. So the next thing I wanted to do is texture them. So with pick, let's say it's the first variable I'm going to make is pick1 and the second pick2 for texturing, and then I'm going to make the function preloads that will load the images. And in the preload function I will give the pick1 variable which will hold the function load image. Load image will have the images inside it, the URL of the images inside it which we have selected. So what we are going to do, we are going to select the image from pixels. So I'm going to write pixels here, and from the pixels I want brick image, brick texture. So when I do that, I have a brick structure which is, I think so, is fine. So I get that, and after doing that I need a texture on it. So texture will give pre-textures which we can use. So what I wanted is something like wooden texture. So say wooden texture like this one. Let's do that. So we have two images which we can see in our folder, and I can use these images over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here in the files. I can select an image and put it here, and I can select the other image also. Both images are selected and I've put it in here. So once they are done, they will turn red color, and then I will just drag and drop here in between the quotes. So it's uploading. So once it's uploaded, I've removed from the place the no stroke committed code, so that like this one is all done. So now I need this image to be put inside the first one because this is the first one image, and then I need to put in the second one the second image. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of this fill color in the tower and in the blades, I'm going to put the textures. So here I'm going to write, instead of the fill, going to write texture first in the tower one because the brick structure will go. So pick1 got the brick structure, and then in the blades one we will take out this color, and instead of this we are going to write the texture, and texture function will have the pick2 in it, which is wooden texture on it. So you can see that how it's looking. It's looking nice, fine in this one. And after doing that, what else we can do? We can now bring in another thing, which is the plane like thing. So we will make the background better. So let's say that the background has got some color to it. Let's say 163. So if I do that, so then the background will have teal color, but we can use some other color as well. So let's see what we can do. Let's select some color from here. Let's say light sky blue color for the background. Let's select that and put it inside here in the background, and let's run it. There it is. And now one more thing, we want to make a plane. So again, a push and a pop, because we want to rotate it and we don't want that rotate to affect the other structures. So we will be making a plane structure, and that plane will have the length width and the height of 4,000 and 10,000, and we want it to rotate also. So it's right now uh, in the x-axis is present, so we want it to rotate down in half pi again. So as you know that rotate x works in this way. So if we say that we want to rotate it in the x-axis, so what we are going to do, that if it's present like this is the x-axis and the y-axis. So in the when a structure moves in the x-axis, this is a ball, and if it's moving, it's move like this, let's go down like this. So in this way it moves. So what we wanted to do is rotate it down like that, the plane, so it's upright like this. In this way it's upright like this, and we wanted it to be that it flatten out here like this. In this way it should be gone down. So let's do that. So again, half pi in radians, which is 90 degrees. So from its 180 degrees it comes down in the rotate x to half pi. And now when we did that, now we will give it a fill, and let's say the fill is something like 46, 139 and 87, and we want it to be a lighter shade of green kind of, so it's appearing like this here. We didn't translate it, yes, so we have to translate it first. It's not translated, so we need to translate it, and we need to translate from its 0 position to 400, and in the minus it was on minus 50, so we want the other one to be at minus 100. So when we do that, you can see the plane appeared now properly, because we didn't translate it at first. Now we have translated, it's looking much better now, and we don't want any strokes on it, so we will say no stroke to it. So now as you can see that we have a plane on, and it seems to be like the windmill is standing on it and it's moving as we talk, and we can increase the volume of it by making it move. Now you can see it moves faster as you increase the volume. If you times it by 10, you can reduce it a little bit, and it will move as you talk. So this is how you can make an interactive windmill. If you want to learn more about 3D shapes and how it can be used for making visualizations, you can get my course on Udemy or on Tutorialspoint. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.